George Orwell, Eric Arthur Blair, born in 1903, is remembered as one of the most critical voices of the 20th century. Through his novels, essays, and journalism, Orwell sought to expose the ills of dictatorship, aggression, and corruption. His life experiences would shape his most famous works, including Animal Farm, a biting allegory of revolution gone wrong. Orwell's early life was marked by a blend of privilege and discomfort. Born in India to a British colonial official, Orwell was sent to England at a young age to receive a formal education. He was keenly aware of class divisions and the gaps inherent in British society. His time spent in colonial Burma as a police officer shaped his growing despise for colonialism. Orwell's experiences in Burma, where he was tasked with enforcing British imperial rule, led to an absolute disappointment. In his essay, Shooting an Elephant, Orwell captures the moral rot of empire, where personal morals is overridden by the cruelty of power. After serving under the Republicans during the Spanish Civil War left Orwell disenchanted with socialism and communism. His idealism was shattered when he witnessed the brutal fighting, backstabbing, and the emergence of Stalinist dictatorship within the left's faction struggle. In Homage to Catalonia, Orwell spoke candidly about the failure of the revolution in Spain. What he had once believed would be a workers' utopia was tainted by political manipulation and dictatorship. This frustration was then let down with the failure of socialism became central to Orwell's writing. One of the pivotal moments that shaped Orwell's critique was the Russian Revolution of 1917, which sought to overthrow the Tsarist autocracy. What began as a hopeful rebellion against tyranny eventually led to the rise of another form of dictatorship under Joseph Stalin. Orwell's Animal Farm was an allegorical take on this process, a stark reflection on how revolutions can betray their own ideals. In Animal Farm, Orwell uses farm animals as stand-ins for key figures from the Russian Revolution. The pigs, once equal to the other animals, slowly become identical from the humans they once overthrew. Old Major, a boar, symbolizes Karl Marx, the father of communism, whose vision of equality inspires the animals to revolt. In Chapter 1, Old Major's speech is an idealistic call for revolution against the tyranny of humans, much like the early promises of the Russian Revolution. Napoleon and Snowball represent the power struggle between Stalin and Trotsky. Snowball, idealistic and intelligent, corresponds to Trotsky, while Napoleon is more cynical, manipulative, and authoritarian, a clear parallel to Stalin. Their rivalry in Chapter 2 reflects the early conflict between the revolution's leaders. Orwell's critique of power, propaganda, and religion is deeply embedded in the characters of Animal Farm. Moses the Raven represents religion, specifically the Russian Orthodox Church, which was co-opted by the Bolsheviks to help maintain control. Like Moses, religion provides comfort and hope to the oppressed animals, promising a paradise called Sugar Candy Mountain, an illusion that keeps them obedient and hopeful in their suffering. Napoleon, the new leader, uses propaganda to solidify his control, much like Stalin used state-run media to manipulate the truth and maintain power. Orwell's critique of propaganda and its ability to twist truth is seen in Napoleon's gradual distortion of the animals' rights and the farm's laws. Animal Farm is not just a story about a farm. It's a timeless warning about how power corrupts, how revolutions can go astray, and how propaganda can manipulate and control populations. Although George Orwell completed Animal Farm in 1943, getting it published was an uphill battle. At the time, Britain and the Soviet Union were allies during World War II, and many publishers feared the book's anti-Stalinist message would be seen as unpatriotic. Orwell's masterpiece is a profound critique of how political systems, whether they are socialist, capitalist, or dictatorship, can be hijacked by those who seek power. In the end, the animals who rebelled for freedom are left with a regime as oppressive as the one they overthrew. Orwell's life and his writings remain as relevant today as they were in his time. Animal Farm is not just an allegory of the past, it's a cautionary tale for the future. Through his disappointment, Orwell understood that the battle against tyranny is ongoing, and that vigilance is the price of freedom. His works challenge us to question authority, to seek truth, and to fight for a society where power never becomes an excuse for injustice.